let's jump right into it. Meta and unlocks. So I put some notes down here for the meta. A lot of move decks were seen last season. Oh, yeah. It was a season built around, or at least some of the cards that happened the season prior, which Fanfei, Batrock, those cards, we're starting to get an influx of a lot of cards into this game, a lot more than I thought we were going to ever see, because at one point I was like, oh, they're only going to be doing one card a week from here on out to the end of time, because they don't want to flood everything. Mm-hmm. Well, now, since they're doing these snap packs, I think they're starting to be like, okay, well, we got new mechanics and skill cards. So as we get into next, talking about this coming season, we're going to be talking again about skill cards and that's a big thing that's coming out. So anyway, we got all sorts of cards that are flooding things. The move cards were significant last season, and some of them into this season as well. So I think move was a big archetype, and then destroy seemed like it came back. I got really close to 90. So I got to like 88. And as soon as I breached like 85, 86, man, was there a lot of destroy decks. It just seemed like it was monotonous to know exactly what you're going to play next. Here comes Killmonger. Here comes this. Here comes that. It was almost predictable. And a lot of times it was just like, if I can't get my move deck going at the beginning, I'm kind of out of luck. Saw a lot of Human Torch, watching him bounce around all over the place. A lot of Hercules.
I want to see a little less Hercules now.
Oh, why is that?
Oh, they nerfed him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now he only moves the cards on your side.
That's right.
Necessarily.
I was going to say, that's not much of a nerf. I think a lot of times there are points of aggravation where I move a card or they move a card as well. Maybe it's Spider-Man or something like that. But, it ends up bouncing their card before my card gets there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of all right with that, but
I can't think of an example where I'm like, oh, shoot, I wish Hercules would do that. But I was just like, that just lessens him a little. But I mean, I'm usually wanting him to move my cards.
Right. And we did have a significant bump. Speaking of nerfs and buffs, we had a significant bump to Cerebro. I don't know if you saw that or not, but Cerebro went up to +3 now instead of a +2.
That's what I missed. I'm like, why did they just move it up to a 3? Okay, yeah, I missed that. You need to go back to the Cerebro deck. That's why you sent me that C5 deck.
Yeah, the C5 deck. It's funny. I sent you that message. I went 3-0, and I didn't type it out to you because I didn't want to jinx it. But as soon as I sent you a message like, hey, this is a decent deck, I just went on this losing streak. I was like, okay, I cannot continue to play this deck. It's killing me.
I read the update and I'm like, okay, so they made it a 3. I don't know what difference that makes, but okay.
Yeah.
Read the whole thing, Evan, not just every other word.
I had a good time creating my own move deck. That was the one I used the most this season. I was bopping everybody around with Xorn, Scream, Kingpin, and Craven. That was kind of nice. I was moving up a good bit there. And then the Namora deck with not Elixir, Prodigy.
Yeah.
I was finding a little bit of success with that too. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of my experience with the meta this season. I got close to 90, wanted to hit 90 so bad, but I couldn't get there. And I didn't really feel like grinding it out Monday. How about you?
I was experimenting with Strange Supreme a lot early in the season. I think he was part of that deck I did with Surge. I made decent progress with that. Bounced around on a few things, still some Surfer variants. What I ended up making kind of a run with was I call the deck Hypno Hustler. The villain, the obscure Spider-Man villain that Donald Glover may or may not play one day, because it's a disco card deck, which I shortened to Disco, so I either name it Dazzler or Hypno Hustler. It makes total sense. It was basically a discard deck with Khonshu and Apocalypse. Dracula's in there, the first Ghost Rider, so hopefully he's going to discard Iron Man or White Tiger, or failing that, Morbius or Dracula. Most of your discards are Apocalypse, so there's only one other card discarded, and it's Iron Man or White Tiger that you want to come back at a 5, 8, or 12 and do their thing. So I think that's the one that got me to 90.
Mm-hmm.
I did hit 90 with that, and then I kind of stalled out. And then somewhere along the way, a card that I had derided and dismissed. You remember I told you last time, I'm like, you know what? I think maybe I got one idea for an Agent Venom deck. So I was enjoying discounted Series 5 packs. I got Thena and Agent Venom. The first thing I did, I put him in, and I'm like, well, let's just see how it would fill in the deck. It filled it in about how I was thinking of it, with a lot of low-cost cards. So forget Cerebro. Let's just put cards in there that I don't care if they get a 3 power because it'll boost them up. So it was like Iron Man, White Tiger. I think at one point I tried putting him in a Mr. Negative deck because I'm like, well, either I'll get Mr. Negative and have everybody be low or no cost, or I'll have Agent Venom bump them up to a 3 power. That didn't really work, but I kept messing around with it. And what I finally came up with was what I usually turn to, a Silver Surfer deck.
Okay.
So Agent Venom is the only card with a power over 3 in it. The rest of it is the Hood, Bass, Nebula, Havoc. Play Havoc on turn 4 because Shang-Chi is the only thing above 3 cost in it. And then got Marvel Boy, Cassandra Nova, Brood, Luke Cage, Silver Surfer, and Surge. I was really making progress with it, and I may have sent this to you. I was on like a 99.5.
Oh, no, I did not see that. I did not see that.
Okay. I got to 99.4 or 99.5 with my Agent Venom Silver Surfer deck.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be so awesome. And I'm like, oh, and what if I hit Infinite and Agent Venom gets the boosters so I can show him, like, after I was like, oh, Agent Venom, he's useless, that I got to Infinite with Agent Venom. Except when I took that screenshot, in the next 3 games, I lost a combined 19 cubes.
Jeez.
I got knocked down, and I wasn't using the Agent Venom deck this whole time, but I got knocked down to like 88 or 87 from 2 cubes away from Infinite. I got beaten down, so I started trying stuff again. I got the discard deck back out. I tried all kinds of different stuff and slowly clawed my way back up. And what I ended up going back to was the Axe of Vengeance deck. Magneto, Kingpin, and I kept experimenting with it. And eventually I was like, wait a minute. I know a card that not only moves but reduces power, so I threw Agamotto in there.
When I tried winds first, of a tomb.
When I tried it first, I had Red Guardian in there, and then Scream and Kingpin, and I'm like, oh, I'll put Ajax in there. And that really didn't pan out as much as I'd hoped, so I put Agamotto in there to get me another negative forced move card. And I think I got to 98.6, whatever it was. Like, if I got 8 cubes, I would hit Infinite.
Oh, man.
And I got smacked back down again.
Not
nearly as low as before. I probably tried a few other things. I even brought Agent Venom back. I pushed at it, and I hit Infinite with about 24 hours to spare for the first time in I don't know how long.
Wow, dude. Congratulations.
The deck was Batroc, Kingpin, Scream, Kraven, Spider-Man, Red Guardian, my boy Werewolf by Night. Finally got him working. Polaris, Stegron, your buddy Cannonball, Agamotto, and Magneto.
Agamotto being the man. Oh, man. That's a deck right there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I thought Agent Venom was trash, and he got me. I might have even gotten to like 85 or 86. It felt like just a free fall. I was like, I'm not even going to get back to 90.
The algorithm saw you.
So I went back to that. And I'm pretty sure I hit Infinite one other time with a deck like that, but not with Agamotto in there. Plus, Batroc wasn't around then, so I had him and Werewolf by Night to bounce around on my side and boost Kraven up. We'll talk about another card I swapped in from this season, although that's temporary. Werewolf by Night will be back as soon as Sinister London is no longer the featured location. I had a couple times using it where I was like, okay, and then I'll drop Agamotto on Sinister London and have 2 13 power. Wait, Werewolf, why did you jump to Sinister London?
No.
Yeah, but he's taking a break while Sinister London works its way through the system. But Werewolf by Night will return.
Very nice. Well, congratulations. One heck of a run there, and especially coming back, man. There's a lot of times where I get thrown down and I'm just like, I'm done. I'll wait till next season. I'll just hang it out and start out lower when the season starts and maybe do something, feel good about myself playing a bunch of bots at the beginning. Awesome stuff. All right. Well, dude, I have what I think is my unlocks. Did I talk about Baby Galactus?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I got Baby Galactus, and then we have a Dan Hip Typhoid Mary.
Nice.
Prodigy. I talked about Prodigy being one of the cards that I definitely got from the season. We then have, I inked a Baby Venom. Not something I unlocked, but hey, I'm proud of it when I inked.
There you go.
Inked a Green Goblin as well.
Nice.
I like my inks. Batroc the Lipa. Z-Lipa. This must be one that I got here. Creative House Pocket variant Jessica Jones. Very kind of anime looking.
Yeah.
Then we have
not
Dan Hip
nearly
Black Widow.
Angry enough.
No, definitely not. Dan Hip Black Widow. I got this Ant-Man variant.
Oh, very
Fei
cool.
Chang. Yeah, Ant-Man variant.
That's from
Love the 3D.
I think that was from a cover from Nick Spencer's run on Ant-Man, which was great.
Okay. And then I got Xorn. Talked about Xorn a little bit already. I got a Dan Hip Scarlet Witch.
Yes, he got Xorn, and I don't care.
I got the Colossus. Is this the Colossus you got? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
everybody got that Colossus.
All right. Well, it's funny because I saw a Reddit post that said, "What card did you get?" And the guy posts Colossus there as the post. And I'm like, didn't everybody get that? Anyway.
I don't know. I hope a bunch of people went with the joke and just posted that Colossus repeatedly.
Reddit is pretty good about doing stuff like that. So I would have loved to have seen it. I got the steampunk variant of Forge. It looks pretty cool. That chair doesn't look too comfortable, though.
It looks like he ripped one of the Reavers out of their tank chair and started shooting.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Okay. Then we got this Wolverine, which is pretty sick. Alexander Lozano variant.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was from the bounty thing where everybody was supposed to use the new X-Men cards.
Oh, okay.
That was one deck I tried, was I think an Erisham deck with all those cards in it.
That would have been, yeah. Gambit, Peter Gwynn variant. Everybody got this too, right? Everybody got that. I thought so.
I mean, you're special, Jesse, but just not because of that.
Apparently, this is a ghost I've never seen before.
Cool.
I must have talked about it already because there's the custom card and there's that. I don't use Ghost enough.
I forget Ghost exists.
I got the, oh my goodness, Future Foundation Leech.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like.
There's a Future Foundation Mr. Fantastic, so they only need 10 more cards before you have a deck.
Yeah, dude. I don't see too many of these Future Foundation variants. Like, so are the only two out there is Reed and Leech?
I think so, yeah. When the Torch died, they stopped going by Fantastic Four and went by Future Foundation, and Spider-Man joined. Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, Thing, and Spider-Man all in the comics have had those white costumes. And then Johnny, when he came back, sported one for a while.
Yeah, I remember seeing
I think
John
they're the only other characters besides Leech that were actually part of the Future Foundation and made it into Snap.
Gotcha.
So far, I'm looking forward to a Valeria Richards card eventually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pandart Studio variant of Blue Marvel, which looks pretty freaking cool.
Nice.
Max Grecki variant of Ghost Rider. And then we have Venom here. This Venom, a disco variant.
Oh, yeah. I was tempted by some of the disco ones.
I have so many Venom variants now. I remember talking about, I think it was like 2 months ago, where I had finished the album. I mean, dude, I've got so many stinking variants of Venom. It's crazy. Disco variant, and I think that's it. I already talked about that Blue Marvel. So there you go. I think I've only got like 3 new cards, which were Xorn and... no, I got Batroc. So 3. Batroc, Xorn, and
you're
Prodigy.
You're probably saving your tokens. I just, as soon as I get enough to grab something, they burn a hole in my digital pocket.
Yeah, I'm sitting right now, collector level 18,442. And as far as, where do I need to go? I need to go to the shop. As far as tokens go, I have want to say 8,000. Yeah, 8,125. So I mean,
yeah, I would have already bought something by now.
Did you see the craziness that happened with the Series 4 cards?
Yeah, it happened to a friend of mine. He got Hellion and Mercury, and now they're gone.
Well, I guess they're there.
Oh,
huh. Yeah.
Kind of wish I'd waited to open my seasonal Series 4 pack before or until after they showed. Yeah, I see them now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because somebody had gotten. Well, I went in there. I was like Mercury and Hellion, and then this morning I think it was. I went in there and I look, and I'm like, maybe it was yesterday morning. They're gone. I'm like, where did they go? I have no idea where they went. No, now they're back. So supposedly they weren't supposed to be released. Like that was the big deal.
8 power is way too much for Hellion, especially when Kid Omega is out there.
So we got to remember when we get in.
Kind of like Kid Omega, except he's not as interesting or as powerful or as useful.
We got to remember when we get into talking about next season to talk about these because I think we left them off the list. And
well, they weren't in the shop when I made.
They weren't. They weren't. That's the absolute truth. They were not there. They were gone. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Evan Bevins, there you go. There I am. Had a good time. What do you got going on?
Okay, well, it started off with Surge. Then Snap rewarded me with a Pixel Mojo and Pixel Leader. The Cosmos decided I could accept a Max Grecki Black Knight, too. I like some of the Max Grecki ones, and some of the others I'm just like that Ghost Rider looks like somebody was like, you know what we should do with this fancy new computer animation we have here in 1994? A Ghost Rider cartoon.
You know, have you ever seen the game? You may have played it. I don't know. It's a computer game that came out called Grim Fandango. And anyway, on the box, the cover art for the box looks like if you just took the flames away from Ghost Rider. It's almost like that. He looks like he's just a kind of a square, but he's a skeleton, and it just looks really blocky. Max Grecki, his art is different. We'll just put it that way.
But, I mean, there's probably people that love that and get mad whenever they get a Pixel or a Dan Hip. So, to each their own.
It's their own.
So then I had a bunch of tokens, so I'm like, I'm going to get one of these 4,000 token Series 5 collector packs. And I got Thena, which was the one I wanted the most.
She's
at that point. So that was nice. Got a Baby Jean Grey variant, a Luchador Red Guardian. Getting closer and closer to that completely unworkable Luchador deck. Pixel White Tiger. Then I got Agent Venom, which was also kind of like the next card I wanted out of Series 5.
Nice.
I got the Erisham Regenesis variant, which is somebody blasting energy at Erisham's finger in Erisham's hand. And I think it's Cyclops, because Regenesis was when the X-Men moved out to San Francisco and were hanging out with the Eternals, and there was a Celestial standing out there for reasons. Good luck dislodging my Dan Hip. But I got the Food Fight Devil Dinosaur, where he's eating a giant donut.
Nice.
Then I got Kahori and Elixir.
Okay.
I got the Secret Empire Patriot, where someone was like, and I think I've seen this like in a cartoon and in some comics, where they were like, what if Patriot's shield turned into a goblin glider? I don't know. I got a Pandart Typhoid Mary, a Dan Hip armor, where her armor is just grinning from ear to ear, assuming it has ears.
Yep.
Pixel White Queen and Pixel Agent 13. And I'm probably going to mangle this pronunciation, and Ibn Coelho Misery, which is pretty cool. He's the regular artist on Fantastic Four that Ryan North's writing, so double cool.
Double.
The Colossus we talked about. I got a Marco Fela Rocket Raccoon, which is kind of a more realistic take on Rocket. The Wolverine and Gambit you mentioned. I did spring for the Nicholas Sisija Iron Patriot, where he's literally wrapped in the flag.
Oh, yes, I've seen that one.
I just thought that looked cool. I got that Falcon Dan Hip that you had that I coveted. That's like classic Falcon, the most recognizable Falcon costume rather than the all black with red highlights. And then a Baron Mordo Pantheon variant.
Oh.
And I know that is how Baron Mordo originally looked, but if it's not Chiwetel Ejiofor Baron Mordo, it's not going in my deck. Because that guy actually seems both dangerous and likable.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas comic book Baron Mordo inspires neither of those feelings.
Right.
You're just like, this guy again?
Again?
You just like turn the lights off and pretend you're not home. I think Dr. Druid is Mordo. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Baron Mordo. Maybe I'm selling him short. But the point is, Chiwetel Ejiofor is a cool dude.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm trying to find out. I
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new cards because I am not as careful with my tokens as you.
Well, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our meta discussion and our unlocks. We did it. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.